Please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Durham. My name is Laurel Fraser, and I'll be asking you just a few questions today on behalf of the government. Now, you've been a spree your whole life?
Yes, I'm very proud of this.
And your whole family has been spree?
Yes.
And you would say you've had a good life under the spree government?
I would say that owning my restaurant gave my entire family good life.
Now, you consider natives to be good-for-nothing non-believers. Is that correct?
I do.
And you said that you would never sell your restaurant to a native.
I never wanted that option.
Mr. Drum, when you had to sell your restaurant, you were 6 months behind on your taxes?
Yes, and this was nothing new. In Fredonia, it was common to be behind on taxes.
And you were informed that your restaurant would be sold in order to pay off these taxes.
That's what government said.
Mr. Dram, I'd like to talk about a few things here in America. Now, when you came to America, you sought and were granted asylum, right?
It was so nice. Family was saved from how we were eating trash in Fredonia.
Like you said, you had experienced some unfortunate circumstances while in Fredonia, right?
Yes, it was terrible.
And this was in November and December of 2010?
Late 2010 into early 2011.
Mr. Dram, when you applied for asylum, you hadn't come here on a student visa, correct?
No, when I applied for asylum, I came from Fredonia, where we were suffering and not eating.
And while you were in Fredonia, you had never been a part of the Watch Out Club?
I have never heard of Watch Out Club.
And you never had to report to any handlers?
All I did was run restaurant. I tried to serve people of Fredonia best soup they could eat.
And you never had to report on another Fredonian citizen?
No, I just tried to live peacefully, and then my restaurant was taken and my family was starving.
Mr. Dram, I'd like to now discuss your correspondence with people in Fredonia today. Your only correspondence is with your spiritual advisor, right?
Yes, it is.
And your spiritual advisor resides in Trentino?
That's where he lives.
And you have no correspondence with anyone outside of Trentino?
I have not been in contact from anyone in Fredonia. I tried to push Fredonia in my past. It was so bad living there.
But, Mr. Zran, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are in correspondence with Anderson, your spiritual advisor, right?
Yes, he's my spiritual advisor. Of course I'm in contact with him.
And your spiritual advisor is a spree, right?
Yes, because I am spree, entire family is spree.
And aside from your contact with Anderson, you have no knowledge of the current circumstances in Fredonia.
All I have knowledge in Fredonia is when I was living there and what I went through.
Mr. Zram, you have not been in Fredonia in over a year, right?
I am very grateful for this.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Mr. Zram, on cross-examination, counsel asked you about your taxes. Were you behind on your taxes?
Yes, I was.
Why were you behind on your taxes?
I had always been behind on taxes. In Fredonia, most people behind on taxes, knaves too.
On cross-examination, counsel also asked you about your current knowledge of Fredonia. Were you living in Fredonia before the 2010 regime change?
Yes, I lived in Fredonia all my life.
Were you living in Fredonia during the 2010 regime change?
Yes.
Were you living in Fredonia after the 2010 regime change?
Sadly.
Were you able to see the differences?
I was. It was terrible.
Why have you not returned to Fredonia?
In America, family has home. We have new job. I can provide food for my children. America has given safe place for me to live.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Recross?
I have no recross, Your Honor.
Very well. Witness may step down.